major concepts of orthobalance that we teach are the poise of the head. That maintains the lightness of the head, and the body actually follows the head, so it's really important that that is free. Also the three curves of the spine, which we go into much more ergonomically and anatomically on the courses, but it's the maintenance of the angles that the spine can move into that actually gives the power to the limbs, not this conscious thought that we have to bend and flex localized muscles to produce strength. Power comes from a different place in the body ergonomically, and so we've got to maintain that. In any act, we'll always be bending the knees, very slightly bending the knees. That changes the way we can walk from different directions. And of course, most important is that we need to keep this area, which is the diaphragm, open and free at all times. If we bend over and crowd this, then any activity is going to become a stress to the body. We need to oxygenate the body, and on all three levels. So if I've got a trowel in my hand and I want to go to the ground, if I go to the ground effectively and reach the ground and assist myself onto my knee pad and open myself up, then I can use this tool, but I've still got the head, the three curves of the spine, my diaphragm's open, my knees are bent, my hips are open, and so as I go to the ground, I actually lower my body. I don't bend to it, I lower and spread. That gives a much more lateral base to the centre of axis of the body. And the power of the tools comes from the body moving, not the hand from the elbow. And I see people digging like this with a trowel, and really they should be making the earth go. If I want to go further back, you can counterbalance the body. You know, it's fun to actually move around your own body, and you find that 20 minutes of work is the best workout you could possibly have in the open air. Another ergonomic use of the body is what we call a squat. The squat is simply the knees bending and the body descending, but with these three concepts of the head, the three curves of the spine, the poise, the spreading of the feet. So if I want to go for the trowel, the two options are straight leg bend. The other is to lower my body to the trowel. And this is the way that you should be moving at all times through this plane. This is the movement all of the time. And this comes from some of the old ancient breathing exercises, silk weaving exercises of the old systems would move and stretch and align and lengthen the body in these ways, so that all of the time you've got these ergonomics working within the concept of your whole posture. I'm just going to demonstrate now the way we typically see many people bending all day long to just take a weed out of the garden. This just strains the lower back, the head's in the wrong position, it's just not good. He's bending his knees to a degree, but it's not really protected. Just come back up. Now, the difference is now we're going to semi-squat. So we're going to take our arm and take it towards the ground. Now, if you've got stiff legs and you haven't done this for a while, you can reinforce the other knee. Learn by firstly going down and reinforcing both knees. And just start to get those knees to work, just get them to work, but it's about lowering the body as well, not just bending the knees. So if you just start to bend the knees, but keeping and maintaining this poise until your arm reaches the floor comfortably. How does that feel?
Yeah, there's a lot less touch on the lower spine, yeah.
This is also good for the knees. We're working up and down on the knees, and so that's a much better ergonomic use. In some countries, they actually, in Japan, I think some of the Asian countries, they would pick berries all day long or bend or work in the fields with this sort of hinge action on the pelvis. And they can do that for many hours all day long because they're using the body ergonomically well. And this concept was brought in by Bodhidharma, the monk from Tibet, that actually taught his disciples when they were trying to meditate, they couldn't stay still long enough for the meditations he was teaching. So he taught them the ancient squat and different breathing exercises from this position to give them power to be able to stay still to meditate. So this has been around for thousands of years. One of the biggest jobs I'm doing constantly in the garden is re-gravelling, because I've got lots of paths and things like that. So you go to the garden centre and you maybe buy 3 or 4 of these pea gravel bags, put them in the boot of the car, get them out the car, carry them to the garden, get them from the garden, take them to the location you want to work with. That's quite a few opportunities to injure your back and do this wrongly. So again, what I do is I lower myself down to the earth. I become acquainted with its mass, its inertia, its centre of gravity. Is there any advantage points? So I've created 2 nice lugs to hold. So again, like when I went down for the trowel, I'm going to lower myself in poise. As I lower myself in poise, I'm going to take a grip that's again 3-dimensional, and I'm going to raise back up. But basically what I'm doing is it's one motion. I'm not going down, stopping and lifting. I'm going down and lifting. And that maintains the diaphragm, pulls it into the body mass, so I can now walk with it, and I can use this to move around and throw it. So if I wanted to move it over there, for instance, I can go down, use that inertia, and use that to throw that side of the body weight around. Okay.